Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So right now, copper prices are high, which means people are looking for copper. For me, one of the easiest places to get copper is actually off of circuit boards. I actually got the idea for this video about a month ago before lockdown, and I was at my parents' house looking at my dad's e-waste pile, and I noticed that he actually does not take the copper spools off his circuit boards. He brings the circuit boards in and he will get circuit board price, which isn't bad, but in my opinion, you will get a lot more by taking the copper off and putting it into your number 2 pile. Currently, number 2 is about $3.60 Canadian a pound, and as you can see behind me, there are lots of spots where you can get copper. He does take off the big transformers, which is great, but he does not take the little ones off. And before I go any further, I do want to give a shout out to my dad, not only for introducing me to scrapping many years ago, but also having him show me an appreciation for the environment, conservation. So again, a big shout out to my dad for all he's done and continues to do. But anyway, here we go. So as you can see, there are a number of different circuit boards, and each one of these circuit boards does have types of copper on them. So I'm just going to show you a couple and show you how to easily and effectively take this copper off of the circuit boards and put it into a number 2 bag. As I said, circuit boards where I go to in Canada, and you have to check your scrap yards. Some scrap yards will be classified as low grade, medium grade, high grade. Copper is not a high grade. It would be a low grade or medium, and you're only getting about 3 to 4 cents a pound. My scrap yard, that's what they give me. They do not have different categories. They just put it all together. So I know in the long run, I'm gonna make more money taking the copper off and putting it as number 2. So again, this is a small transformer. I do have a video on taking apart transformers, the bigger ones, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. This one, as you can see inside, there's a really nice spool of copper inside. These ones right here, there's not a lot, so I actually don't take these off. But as you can see, here are some really nice spools, and very simple. I'm just gonna show you this very quick. Just gonna take a pair of pliers. I'm just gonna pull it up, and I'm just gonna cut the little connecting cord. There's 2 of them. Okay, as you can see, it always has some steel around it, so I'm just gonna unravel it right here very quickly, very easily. Okay, that steel will come out of there. And this is just gonna go into my steel pile, the little piece of steel there. Once I get it out, so that'll be steel. And here's a nice little piece of copper. It doesn't weigh a lot, but once I start adding them all up, it will. And on that circuit board, as you can see, there's 3 of them. So there's 2 more. There's also these little circles. And again, for me, when I looked at my dad's pile, these are very easy to take off. As you can see, I'm just gonna take it, I'm gonna turn it off. And some people will unravel them. I don't. All I actually do is I'm going to take a hammer. There is always like a donut around it. The donut is magnetic, so that will, once I break it open, so just with a hammer. So as you can see, it comes in 2 parts. Here's 1, here's 2. And now that I have my copper, I'm just going to pull it off. So there's some steel. There might be a little bit of glue on it, but again, because it is number 2 price, I'm not gonna get, penalized for a little bit of glue. As you can see, it just unwinds. Pull it off. This is gonna slide out, okay? And here is a really nice spool of copper, okay? And again, this is gonna go into my number 2 pile. Okay, that's one place. Another type of circuit board you're going to find not only you see a nice spool in that transformer there, but you will see little spools of copper like that. All I'm gonna do is just take a little screwdriver or a pry bar, and I'm just gonna pull it off. Very simple. It does have steel around it as well. All I'm gonna do is hit it with a hammer. I also have a big one here. This came off a different circuit board, but very simple. Just gonna break the top of it. There's my spool, and I'm just gonna unwind it. Very simple. Look at that. Here is some more nice copper. Now, some people might say this looks like Bear Bright, and it does. It's very shiny. However, because this wire is not very thick, it is gonna go into number 2. The rule is usually if the wire is less than a pencil lead thickness, it's gonna be number 2, or number 2, even though, like I said, it's clean, it's just not very thick. But again, I throw it into a bag and it adds up. Okay, so as you can see there, it already is starting to add up. Another place that my dad and others like to overlook are the little silver contact boxes. Silver contact boxes, you'll find a bunch of them on a circuit board. Not only does it contain a small amount of silver, but it also contains a copper spool. I actually have a video on silver contacts, very easy to collect, and that will be coming out. So when that's out, if you're interested, go check that out. But very simple, I'm gonna show you this box. If you look on the bottom, there are other looking like rectangular boxes that look like silver contact boxes. They're blue or white, or sometimes black, but they're not a heavy plastic like this. So those ones do not contain spools of copper. Very easy on the bottom to identify is if it is plastic on the bottom, it is also a silver contact box. So I'm just gonna break this over with a hammer for you. Put my safety glasses on. Okay, and it's just gonna, there. I just wanted to break the bottom, and it's gonna slide out. So as you can see here, all silver contact boxes have a nice spool of copper. Not only that, but it will also have inside, those little dots are silver. So I actually take those silver contacts, I will put them into my silver container. Hopefully one day make a silver bullion. But what I really want to look at for this video is the copper spool. And you'll see there is a small piece of steel on that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screwdriver and I'm just going to pry that piece of steel up so I can get to the copper spool. I'm going to hold it. Got to do 2 things here. Sometimes I put in my vise. Okay, but I have the spool now exposed. And what I'm going to do, sorry, I just popped it off. The top, I just crimped the top off. And as you can see, the spool is coming off. Okay, this is going to now go into my steel pile because this is magnetic. But as you can see, some really nice fine copper. And I've already, on my other video, I took a whole bunch of copper off of the silver contact boxes. So I just add it to this ball. This ball is almost 1/4 pound. So it's getting bigger, and it just, the nice thing about this wire is you can really fold it into a compact ball and just keep adding weight to it. The little silver contact transformers that I find, they're all over. Something like this. This came off of one. If I'm just going to turn it, look at the nice copper spool inside of there. My dad does not take these ones off. He likes to leave the steel on there for the weight, which is good. Like I said, his scrapyard, he gets a better price. But I guess that's where you have to call ahead and see what kind of price they give you. For me, however, very simple to take these out and get that nice copper out. I do have a video on taking apart transformers. So again, very simple to do. If you're interested, go check that video out. So little transformers are worth it. Again, that's another one. This is a small transformer that comes in a different way. This is off of an old microwave. The nice spool of copper there. All I'm gonna do is just break that with a hammer, the plastic, and take that copper out. There are little copper connectors here that you're gonna find. And the one that really gets me is if I look at a circuit board like this comes out of your computer, my dad will leave all of these spools on there. And as you can see, this circuit board right here actually has two smaller ones. It has a couple small wires like this, and they come in different colors. This one is off of another one. As you can see, there is some red coated copper in there as well. It's all copper, but I'm just gonna very simply take this off for you. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a pair of pliers. I'm just gonna hold it and twist. Sometimes it will work just to loosen it. Okay, now it is exposed, so I'm just gonna cut the remaining wires. Okay, so get to them. Nice thing about these circuit boards as well is there are also aluminum heat sinks, and there are also the little transformers. These transformers in Canada are about 10 cents a pound. I do take these off because I will get more money for the transformers than I will for e-waste price where I go. But if I look inside this transformer, there is not a lot of copper, so I actually just leave that. But these bigger donuts, just like the other ones, the little ones, I can unwind it, but very simple. I'm just gonna take a hammer again. I'm gonna break it open, just like I did there. And now the nice thing is the copper is exposed. I can just actually pull it. I just twist, just like an accordion. There is my steel now. As I said, just to prove my point, looking for a magnet. It is magnetic, okay? But as you can see, taking off the copper, very quick to do and very effectively. Because this, as I said, adds up. It will be a nice weight or begin to be a nice weight. And again, I'm gonna maximize my profit doing that. So here we go. Look at that nice ball of copper. There are some, obviously this is a different type of donut. This has the wire. The copper wire will go into my copper wire bucket. Currently, copper wire is $1.70 a pound. So even these ones, as small as this is, I will take this off the donut. I will put this into my copper wire bin and let that add up. Another place is aluminum heat sinks. I just did a video on aluminum heat sinks for the aluminum. But as you can see, I have a couple really nice aluminum heat sinks. Most of the time they are just pure aluminum. They come in different sizes. So these two are aluminum heat sinks. Aluminum right now in Canada clean is about 40 cents a pound. Okay, here's a couple other ones. But on your motherboards in computer towers, you will find a really nice heat sink. It usually has a type of motor fan on top. This one actually as well, this one is circular obviously, this one is square. This one, as you can see inside, is a really nice copper ingot. And some people will just leave these. You can put this into your number 2, but very effectively, all I did is to get this copper ingot out. It is right here. This came out of a different one. Would just be to cut open the aluminum, pull that out. And the other video I just released was on aluminum heat sinks. I've already weighed this. This is 0.06 pounds. So this is a really nice piece of copper that just came out of an aluminum heat sink. And the nice thing about aluminum heat sink is I actually also have the aluminum still. So that is no waste on aluminum heat sink, but I just maximized my profit spending an extra 10 seconds taking this copper out. One of my subscribers on my aluminum heatsink video asked, would this not be bare bright? And it could be if I polished it, But as you can see, there is a little bit of tarnish, and the scrap yards, it's only about 10 cents different for Bear Bright. Bear Bright, I think, is about $4.08 Canadian a pound right now. Number 1 copper would be $3.90 right now. So this would go into my number 1. If I just took a polisher and polished that up a little bit to make it look like the bottom, it would probably be Bear Bright. But again, it depends on your scrapyard. Either way, it's a nice piece of copper coming out of my aluminum heat sinks. Okay, so again, another one, last one I'm going to show. Here's another type of circuit board. This is copper as well, and this is a plastic type of donut around it. It does have steel inside, but same policy or same method. I will just cut it off. I will use a hammer to open it up and slide it off. Okay. Hope you found this stuff informative. Hope you found it interesting. Again, shout out to my dad for giving me the idea for this video. I believe there's a lot of copper, and you have to check in order to maximize your profit. There are sometimes a good way just to speed up the process, maximize your profit. But again, if your scrapyard gives you a good price and you don't have the time, by all means, it's good just to take that circuit board in and divert it from the landfill. Again, hope this was informative. Go get that copper. Look forward to more videos. Happy New Year. Stay well. Tin Man out.